Luka Milivojevic come in for Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend and Scott Dan. So the lineups in full for West Brom. It is Johnson in goal, a back five of Phillips, Bartley, Ivanovic, Ajayi and Furlong. The midfield of Diangana, Sawyers, Gallagher and Pereira, with Grant leading the line on his own. For Palace, it's Gaeta in goal, the back four of Van Arnholt, Cahill, Kouyaté and Klein. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Benteke up top. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between West Brom and Crystal Palace. The Baggies have had a torrid time with this fixture in the past, with their last win against the Eagles coming in 2016. In fact, this was the last time they scored against the London side, winning 3-2 on the day. The good news for fans is that they come into this game after registering their first victory of the season, beating fellow strugglers Sheffield United 1-0. Slaven Bilic names two changes to that side, as Connor Townsend and Callum Robinson drop out. Matt Phillips and Grady Diangana both come in. Palace go into this game on an indifferent run of form. 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5 leaves Roy Hodgson's men in 15th, 7 points above today's opponents and the relegation zone. 3 changes are named to the side that lost to Newcastle last time out. Wilfried Zaha, Christian Benteke and Luka Milivojevic come in for Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend and Scott Dan. So the lineups in full for West Brom. It is Johnson in goal, a back five of Phillips, Bartley, Ivanovic, Ajayi and Furlong. The midfield of Diangana, Sawyers, Gallagher and Pereira, with Grant leading the line on his own. For Palace, it's Gaeta in goal, the back four of Van Arnholt, Cahill, Kouyaté and Klein. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Benteke up top. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between West Brom and Crystal Palace. The Baggies have had a torrid time with this fixture in the past, with their last win against the Eagles coming in 2016. In fact, this was the last time they scored against the London side, winning 3-2 on the day. The good news for fans is that they come into this game after registering their first victory of the season, beating fellow strugglers Sheffield United 1-0. Slaven Bilic names two changes to that side, as Connor Townsend and Callum Robinson drop out. Matt Phillips and Grady Diangana both come in. Palace go into this game on an indifferent run of form. 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5 leaves Roy Hodgson's men in 15th, 7 points above today's opponents and the relegation zone. 3 changes are named to the side that lost to Newcastle last time out. Wilfried Zaha, Christian Benteke and Luka Milivojevic come in for Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend and Scott Dan. So the lineups in full for West Brom. It is Johnson in goal, a back five of Phillips, Bartley, Ivanovic, Ajayi and Furlong. The midfield of Diangana, Sawyers, Gallagher and Pereira, with Grant leading the line on his own. For Palace, it's Gaeta in goal, the back four of Van Arnholt, Cahill, Kouyaté and Klein. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Benteke up top. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between West Brom and Crystal Palace. The Baggies have had a torrid time with this fixture in the past, with their last win against the Eagles coming in 2016. In fact, this was the last time they scored against the London side, winning 3-2 on the day. The good news for fans is that they come into this game after registering their first victory of the season, beating fellow strugglers Sheffield United 1-0. Slaven Bilic names two changes to that side, as Connor Townsend and Callum Robinson drop out. Matt Phillips and Grady Diangana both come in. Palace go into this game on an indifferent run of form. 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5 leaves Roy Hodgson's men in 15th, 7 points above today's opponents and the relegation zone. 3 changes are named to the side that lost to Newcastle last time out. Wilfried Zaha, Christian Benteke and Luka Milivojevic come in for Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend and Scott Dan. So the lineups in full for West Brom. It is Johnson in goal, a back five of Phillips, Bartley, Ivanovic, Ajayi and Furlong. The midfield of Diangana, Sawyers, Gallagher and Pereira, with Grant leading the line on his own. For Palace, it's Gaeta in goal, the back four of Van Arnholt, Cahill, Kouyaté and Klein. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Benteke up top. Not long until kick-off for this Premier League clash between West Brom and Crystal Palace. The Baggies have had a torrid time with this fixture in the past, with their last win against the Eagles coming in 2016. In fact, this was the last time they scored against the London side, winning 3-2 on the day. The good news for fans is that they come into this game after registering their first victory of the season, beating fellow strugglers Sheffield United 1-0. Slaven Bilic names two changes to that side, as Connor Townsend and Callum Robinson drop out. Matt Phillips and Grady Diangana both come in. Palace go into this game on an indifferent run of form. 2 wins and 3 losses in their last 5 leaves Roy Hodgson's men in 15th, 7 points above today's opponents and the relegation zone. 3 changes are named to the side that lost to Newcastle last time out. Wilfried Zaha, Christian Benteke and Luka Milivojevic come in for Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend and Scott Dan. Well, we'll leave that there because we are now underway for this Premier League clash between West Brom and Crystal Palace. The home side in their usual blue and white striped home kit, playing from left to right. Crystal Palace also playing the home kit today from right to left. It's myself, William Maxwell, to take you through this game. As West Brom just put the ball behind the air from Ajayi, aiming towards Diangana. Van Aanholt does well to intercept before Grant can get in front. Cahill has slid in on Diangana. They can only put the ball out of play for a throw-in deep inside enemy territory for West Brom's point of view. It's been a bright start from them in this opening minute as Furlong tries to get down the line. It's really good defending though by Patrick Van Aanholt to get his body in front of his fellow fullback and shepherd the ball out of play for a goal kick. So I'll just run you through the lineups if you didn't catch them earlier on. For West Brom, it's Sam Johnston in goal. A bit of a back 3 with Sami Ajayi, Branislav Ivanovic and Carl Bartley in the defence. Matt Phillips and Darnell Furlong are the two sort of wing backs for them. They'll be playing up alongside Gallagher and Sawyers in the midfield, with Pereira, Diangana and Grant as the more attacking threats for the Baggies. For Crystal Palace, it's Gaeta in goal, a flat 4-4-2 formation, so the back 4 of Van Aanholt, Cahill, Kouyaté and Klein. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Christian Benteke, the 2 strikers today. Benteke, obviously once a very clinical striker, hasn't really had the best of form over the past few years. For Crystal Palace, he's only scored 7 goals since the 2017-18 season. So we'll be looking to improve on those figures today. West Brom just give away possession with Phillips. Eze getting a toe in. Then he's been bundled over by the Scotsman. So it will be a free kick for Crystal Palace midway inside their own half. A win will be vitally important, realistically, for both sides today. West Brom starting the day in 18th inside the relegation zone. A win would propel them up the table only by a place above Fulham, but it would take them out of the relegation zone, which is the most important thing. Whereas with Crystal Palace currently lying in 15th, a win for them could take them as high as 11th. Massive for them. Here's Schlupp now for Crystal Palace. He'll go back towards Cahill. And now Kouyaté. Here's Schlupp again. MacArthur. Give it back to the Ghanaian. A few 1-2s. They'll then go back towards Cheikhou Kouyaté. Now here's Schlupp. Schlupp looks for support, will come in towards Zaha. Zaha, great turn by Zaha into the area, will go for goal, not too far away. The first real opportunity that we've had in this game. Zaha doing what he does best and having some tight dribbling inside a confined area of the 18-yard box. Did well to turn away from Sami Ajayi with a lovely roulette, but then generated a lot of power behind his shot past Ivanovic, but the angle was just too tight and it grazed the top of the side netting before heading over. Really good shot though there by Wilfried Zaha. Bright spark he is. Been a bit of end-to-end in these opening 3.5 minutes or so. Here's Gaeta for Palace. He'll play that out towards Cahill. He's closed down by Diangana. Will go short towards Van Aanholt, who now in turn goes back once again towards Gaeta. Long ball by Nathaniel Klein trying to set off Benteke down the right. He is shepherded out of play by Carl Bartley. I think they may have been bundled over there by the Belgian. The referee today, Paul Tierney, is quick to give out a yellow card. So Sam Johnson will come out and take this free kick for Palace. ball by Johnson, aiming towards Diangana. Klein does well to get his body in front of the West Brom man, put back forward by Bartley, headed away by Chiarte. Now Gallagher will play that back towards Sawyers. Now with Ivanovic. A few 1-2s with Sawyers again. Now Bartley not really been given a great deal of support in front of him, so we'll have to spread the ball across the defence. Now Semi Ajayi will try and break forward. The Nigerian will go right towards Furlong. Sawyers. Pereira drops deep to get himself involved. West Brom just playing it from side to side. It's been good passing, but no real threat so far. Phillips goes back towards Sawyers, who is marshalled by Benteke. Now Gallagher spreads it right again for Ajayi. Furlong. Ajayi now with Diangana. Holds off Cahill. Goes back to Ajayi again. It's a poor pass though by the Nigerian. Can't find Gallagher. Now Schlupp will find Zaha. Back to Schlupp again. Here's Eze. Looks for support and eventually carves that around towards Sheku Chiarte. Who will in turn play a 1-2 with Nathaniel Klein. Now spread that over towards Cahill. Patient play by both sides at the moment. Focusing on keeping hold of the possession in these early exchanges. As Klein puts the ball down the line trying to find Benteke. It's a misplaced pass, which Bartley will intercept. He's pressurised by MacArthur. Eventually goes back to his goalkeeper. And Johnston, his clearance was poor, went straight to Chiarte. And he'll find MacArthur. And he plays a 1-2 with Klein. This could be an opportunity to come forward now for Palace. MacArthur, watched by Phillips. Cuts back again towards Klein. Here's Schlupp. Holds off Bartley, goes down, and it will be a free kick. Carl Bartley was just a little over-eager there, stood on the backs of the heels of Jeff Schlupp, took off his boot in the process. So it will be a free kick in a promising position to get the ball into the area. Not really a shooting a position for them. Maybe around 35 yards, close to 40 out for Crystal Palace. Both sides have plenty of height and physicality. So it could be quite the interesting battle from set pieces today. For Palace, they've got likes of Cahill, Chiarte, Benteke to aim for. West Brom, Bartley, Ivanovic, Ajayi, all big defenders. They've played it low across the floor, Palace. Zaha, he whips the ball in dangerously. Oh, and it's an own goal. It's Darnell Furlong, the unfortunate culprit. It was fizzed in by Zaha. Furlong diving in at the near post, doing his best to try and clear the ball away. Can only get a lazy leg at it, and it's poked it into the bottom corner. I think Paul Tierney's just having a word with the linesman of a possible foul between Zaha and Mateus Pereira, who goes down very, very easily. I don't think there's a great deal in that. I'll be surprised if the goal is ruled out. It's basically a training ground move. It's a lovely ball by Zaha. Such a teasing cross. And there's nothing else really Furlong can do apart from put it into the back of his own net. Well, first blood has gone to Crystal Palace in this game. It's West Bromwich Albion 0, Crystal Palace 1, and it comes from a training ground free kick move. A low free kick across the floor, found Zaha, who turned away from Mateus Pereira. He fell to the floor, no foul was given. Zaha continued on his run, whipped in a dangerous cross in along the floor, and Furlong threw a helpless right leg at it to poke it past his own goalkeeper into the bottom left-hand corner. VAR did check to see if there was going to be a foul given. Nothing has been awarded, so it will stand. So West Bromwich Albion 0, Crystal Palace 1, just under 10 minutes gone. I think that's the right decision by VAR there. There really wasn't a great deal in that between Zaha and Pereira. Zaha has actually gone down with a collision with Roman Sawyers. A bit slow to his feet at the moment, the tricky Palace winger. I think may have been just caught round the face by the man from St Kitts and Nevis. No foul has been given though. Seemingly okay to continue for the time being. Throw in for for Crystal Palace, I should say. midway inside their own half. Gaeta will now lay that towards the right for Cheku Kiate. Thumbs it down the line, aiming towards Benteke, just above the head of the Belgian. So now Sawyers is the man that can mop up. Here is Sawyers again, to Gallagher. He turns away from one, eventually goes back towards Sawyers, who will now spread that towards Phillips on the left-hand wing. Good running by Grant now, trying to take on Klein, when forced to go back towards Phillips again. Bartley looks to float the ball into the area, aiming towards Pereira, did well to get his head onto it. Milivojevic helps it away, MacArthur spins as well. Now Bartley will mop things up again. Pereira turns away from Milivojevic and tried to cushion a pass towards Matt Phillips. It was the wrong placement though, easily cut out. And now Palace can come away with it with Wilfried Zaha. Now here's Klein. Klein has to stop his run and come back towards Cahill. And now Van Aanholt will move down the left wing. Lovely ball by Van Aanholt to try and find Zaha, but Ajayi is no slouch. He gets his body in front of the Ivorian and puts the ball out of play for a throw-in deep inside the West Bromwich Albion half. Well, the second most goals scored in the opening 15 minutes now, Crystal Palace, with 5. Just 1 behind the leaders Tottenham. Here is Van Aanholt. Throw to Benteke. Eze. Now Zaha, back to Eze. He holds off Sawyers, twists and turns, eventually gives it to Van Aanholt. Zaha, lovely pass by him, and now here's Eze on the edge of the area. Twists and turns, looks for support, then goes for goal, but it's a very easy block by Gallagher. Just ran out of room there, Eze, then Grant holds the ball up, lovely dribbling by him. Gallagher's in acres of space if he can be found. Grant tries to find him, and it's a really, really poor ball by the former Huddersfield Town striker. Goes straight into the arms of Vicente Gaeta. It was a rushed pass more than anything there by the West Brom striker. Didn't compose himself before aiming that. Here's MacArthur now for the Eagles. Cahill goes back towards Gaeta. Now with Kiate. Here's Milivojevic. Down the line aiming towards Zaha. Can't find the Ivorian though. Johnson is the man that will come and pick this up. And immediately throws the ball out for West Brom to try and move out from the back now with Ivanovic. I think for the vast majority, West Brom have defended rather resolutely. Just one error has cost them in this game so far, but they haven't had much attacking intent. Diangana may try and change it now though. He finds Phillips, he whips the ball in towards Pereira. Lovely play by West Brom. Pereira caught that on the volley really, really sweetly, but unfortunately for him hit it straight at the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. Best bit of football we've seen by West Brom by a country mile. So a cross by Matt Phillips on the half volley went straight to Pereira, who did really well to catch it, as sweet as he did. And if it was any other placement in a corner, then surely that's going straight to the back of the net. Lovely play by the Brazilian. West Brom almost equalising there. They have just given away a foul as well from the resulting bit of open play. Furlong coming through the back of Eberechi Eze. Just getting another replay on our studio pictures of that goal. I mean, it really was an unnecessary foot to put out there, Furlong. There's about 6 West Brom defenders all in a line. No one really, and Palace blue and red close to where Zaha put the cross initially. But Furlong never got the shout and slid in, tried to make the clearance, and in the end there was nothing that the goalkeeper Sam Johnson could do about that, beating him at his near post. Ball down the line by Van Aanholt. Can't quite find the intended target of Wilfried Zaha. So out it goes for a throw-in just inside their own half. Just to run you through the subs benches today, that for the two sides to choose from. For West Brom, they've got Kieran Gibbs, Callum Robinson, Kamil Grzycki, Charlie Austin, Filip Krovinovic, Dara O'Shea, and the backup goalie of David Button. For Crystal Palace, it's Joel Ward, Jordan Ayew, Andros Townsend, Mamadou Sakho, Mishi Batshuayi, Jaido Riedewald, and the backup goalkeeper of Jack Butland. Here is Sawyers for West Brom. Just by the halfway line, finds Gallagher. He is dispossessed by Milivojevic. Now, this could be a big opportunity here for Palace. Milivojevic plays it towards Benteke. He tries to put the cross in towards Zaha. Zaha on the volley. Never set himself up right for that. It was always going to look like it was going to go over the crossbar. Did well to get any leg to it, Wilfried Zaha, but it was not his best effort. Maybe a cross back across the face of goal would have been the better option there. Milivojevic did well to start that counter-attacking move after dispossessing Conor Gallagher. It was a decent pass as well by Christian Benteke to find Zaha on the run on the left-hand side. But not the best of efforts there by Zaha, who would have taken something incredibly special to beat Johnson from that angle. Well, it must be said, if you're looking for something special from a Palace shirt, 9 times out of 10 it is Wilfried Zaha that gives you it, as Schlupp breaks forward. He is brought down rather cynically by Roman Sawyers, and that is going to be the first yellow card of the game. The man from St Kitts and Nevis cynically bringing down the Ghanaian there, who was managing to get away from plenty of Baggies players. It was always looking like a foul was going to be committed. His second yellow card of the season so far for Roman Sawyers. Johnston rolls it out towards Ajayi. Now with Sawyers. And now going to come forward is Ivanovic. Here is Bartley finding Phillips. And now Gallagher looks to spread the ball towards the right-hand side for Furlong. It was a good pass by him, but the first touch on Furlong wasn't great. Did well to keep a hold of it. Ajayi finds Pereira. Sawyers, better football this from West Brom. Diangana now will try and take on Kiata. He's been doubled up on by Milivojevic. Chips it towards the back post from Matt Phillips inside the penalty area. Phillips tries to give it back towards Gallagher. Important interception by Schlupp. Gallagher holds on to possession. Goes back towards Pereira, who has support on the left in Phillips. Utilises him as well. Phillips floats the ball in towards the back post. So Furlong to get the header. Cannons off the crossbar. And then Cahill is there with a diving header away. Klein does well to keep it from going out for a corner, and he'll put the ball out of play for a throw-in. Furlong almost making up for his earlier own goal. It's a lovely floated cross in by Phillips. Furlong drifting into the back post, easily beating Van Aanholt in the air. Got plenty of power behind the header, as the effort from Phillips comes in from around 25-30 yards out, and that is straight at Gaeta again. In a matter of moments, West Brom have really begun to go up a few gears and are pressurising Crystal Palace at every opportunity. On ball by Gaeta, aims towards MacArthur. He is pressurised by Gallagher. MacArthur eventually plays it off of the young midfielder and manages to win a throw-in for his side as well. It was a great leap by Darnell Furlong there. A lot of questions does have to be asked of the Crystal Palace defence, showing the space that Furlong was given. Van Aanholt was having to deal with two players in the middle of Diangana and Furlong. Looking at the replays there, maybe Eze's a bit at fault. Sawyers does really well to slide in and keep the ball in play, and will pass that all the way back to his goalkeeper. Now here's Sawyers once more. He finds Bartley. He chipped it down the line aiming towards Diangana, who almost beat Cahill to it. Cahill did well to come out from defence and nod the ball away. The ball down the line by Klein, cannons off of Phillips once more. So out it goes for a throw-in. Almost a forgotten man, Nathaniel Klein, after his torrid spell at Liverpool. Struggled with injuries and then lost his place to the rising Trent Alexander-Arnold and could never reclaim it back. Pereira finds Sawyers. Now with Gallagher. Shepherded backwards by Jeff Schlupp. And now Ajayi will come forward down this right-hand side. He's held up this time by Eze. Pereira drops deep. Sawyers. Back towards Ajayi once more. Sawyers tries to go towards Diangana. Easily cut out by Kiate. MacArthur finds Eze. Eze's fouled by Ajayi. And that'll be another free kick for Crystal Palace. It remains West Bromwich Albion 0, Crystal Palace 1, but the home side have definitely been the better of the two ever since going behind. They've really gone up a few gears and could easily have equalised just moments ago. A great floated cross by Matt Phillips found the own goal scorer, Darnell Furlong, actually rising highest at the back post. He got his header off the crossbar and there was no West Brom player there able to turn the rebound on target. Then a few seconds after that opportunity, Matt Phillips had an effort from around 30 yards out, got plenty of power behind his shot, but he was straight at the Crystal Palace goalkeeper. So the Baggies are looking good coming forward. They've been unable to beat the goalkeeper and the Crystal Palace defence thus far, though. It remains West Bromwich Albion 0, Crystal Palace 1. Sawyers has just been fouled by Palace player. And Boutini's going to let that go for a throw-in, though, for Palace. For West Brom, I should say, although Palace have just intercepted. Van Arnholt then tries to break away. He's tackled by Pereira, and now Bartley will play Phillips in down the left-hand wing. Here's Diangana. He's been surely fouled there by Jeff Schlupp. Grant picks it up, is forced backwards, and eventually Tierney comes back to give the free kick. Diangana almost wrestled to the floor there by Jeff Schlupp. Maybe a little bit lucky that no foul was given, or sorry, no card was given there for Schlupp. So free kick around 30 yards out. It's going to be Mateus Pereira who stands over this for the Baggies. Just waiting on this to be taken. Plenty of height has gone forward for West Brom. The likes of Ivanovic, Ajayi, Bartley, Furlong all in there, as is Grant and Diangana. Pereira whips the ball in towards Carl Bartley at the back post. Can't find the West Brom man, and MacArthur is there just to shepherd the ball out of play for a goal kick. Carl Bartley is appealing for a penalty from the referee. I think an offside was given anyway by the linesman. And he is about half a yard offside there, Carl Bartley. It's just the right decision, and there wasn't really a great deal of contact between Gary Cahill and Bartley anyway, so I think it would have been rather soft for the penalty to be won. Yeah, pictures of a concerned looking Slaven Bilic on the sidelines. I'm sure he'll be happy with what he's seen from his side so far. Frustrated in the fact that his side do find themselves maybe rather undeservedly so behind, as Cahill has a very sloppy pass cut out by Carlin Grant, who now finds Diangana, who will be watched by Zaha. Diangana beautifully gets away from Van Arnold, but then he's tackled by Milivojevic. It's so quick at Crystal Palace players to get over to Diangana whenever he picks up possession. They know him as the danger man. Quick feet, a great turn of pace, and he's so dangerous when he's running straight at the defence. Pereira finds Sawyers, who's surely been fouled there by Milivojevic. He has. That's going to be a free kick. Really sloppy play there by the Crystal Palace captain. Sawyers takes the free kick quickly, tries to find Phillips. It's a really poor pass there by Sawyers. He had no need to take the free kick as quickly as he did. Then Gallagher has just been clattered as well there by Jeff Schlupp once again. Surely it won't be long until Portini begins to tot up the fouls that Schlupp seems to be giving away for a yellow card. Here is Ivanovic. Towards Bartley now on this left-hand side. He'll find Phillips. Now with Gallagher. He's watched by Benteke. Gallagher goes towards the right-hand side for Pereira. The support in Furlong on the overlap. Instead, Pereira will go towards the back post where Phillips is waiting. Phillips is back across, aiming towards Diangana, but it's straight at Vicente Gaeta in the end. It was the right idea, I would say. It's a lovely West Brom move again by the Baggies. A lovely floated pass by Matheus Pereira. His vision today has been absolutely fantastic, the Brazilian, finding Matt Phillips, and he just gets the angle of his header wrong there. Maybe more of a floater towards the back post. Could easily have gifted Grady Diangana the equaliser for the home side. So free kick for Crystal Palace. Finds its way to Klein on the right hand side. Now with Cahill. Van Aanholt back towards the former Chelsea and Bolton man. Wilfred Zaha has had a few words with the referee Paul Tierney, getting rather frustrated. Having an interesting little battle with Furlong on this left-hand side. Could get rather meaty as the game goes on if he's not too careful. Here's Milivojevic, back towards Chiarte. Almost half an hour gone in this game. Remains West Bromwich Albion 0, Crystal Palace 1. Ball chip over towards Benteke. He is well hustled by Ajayi, but then MacArthur comes in. He'll now find Eze, who is watched once again by Semi Ajayi, who now looks to come forward. Will release it through towards Zaha. Does really well to get away from Pereira, and then he's been fouled by Matt Phillips in the end from around 35 yards. So free kick it will be. Zaha once again in the wars. Great quick feet by the Ivorian. It was always going to be likely that it was going to get fouled there. So a promising position to possibly float the ball into the area here for Crystal Palace. Considering it's also a very straight angle. Won't be unheard of for a player to go for goal. Although I would find it very unlikely that would end up in the back of the net. Remember, they did score from their last free kick, Crystal Palace. Granted, it was an own goal. Milivojevic is the only man standing over this. Floats it towards Benteke, who rose highest. He was trying, I'm not sure if he was trying to angle his header towards the run of Zaha or trying to find the bottom corner. Either way, Johnson is the man that comes over and makes the save. If he is able to direct a header towards Zaha, he's completely unmarks the Palace danger man. End up in a second goal for Crystal Palace. If I were Slaven Bilic, I'd be very, very frustrated with how that ended up. Here's Sawyers for West Brom. Here's Phillips. 1-2 with Grant. Haven't really seen a great deal of Colin Grant in attacking areas at the moment. He's been more involved in the build-up than actually taking any shots at goal. Here's Sawyers. He finds Ajayi. Lovely ball by Ajayi to find Furlong, who's got support in Phillips and Diangana. Tries to get the ball in, blocked, goes back towards Gallagher. Brilliant finish by Gallagher, and that is the equaliser for West Bromwich Albion. Fully deserved as well, you must say. Furlong doing really well down the right hand side, showing great persistence after his initial cross was blocked, and he's made up for his earlier own goal brilliantly well. And Gallagher, when he picked it up, first time shot straight into the bottom corner. I think possibly Gaeta's a bit unsighted, which makes things a bit harder for him, but take nothing away from the finish. It's a calm, assured finish, and it's 2 goals in as many games now for the midfielder, Conor Gallagher. Equalising goal for West Bromwich Albion. It is 1-1 and it's fully deserved. Conor Gallagher is the man that scored it. Furlong broke down the right hand side after a brilliant pass by Semi Ajayi. His initial cross was blocked by Gary Cahill. It fell back to Furlong in a promising position. He rolled it back towards Conor Gallagher, who from around 18 yards, or probably closer to 15 you would say, just stroked it home into the bottom left-hand corner. Gaeta, possibly a bit unsighted, couldn't do much else with it, but it had been coming from a West Brom point of view. So it's 2 goals in as many games now for Conor Gallagher. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. Yeah, fully deserved there for West Bromwich Albion. And you just wonder how the tide will turn now they've got their equalising goal. Just before the half an hour mark as well, that goal came. Here is Bartley for West Brom. Now with Furlong. Ajayi trying to find Dean Garner. He's tackled, and then Van Aanholt has been caught by Mateus Pereira there. Maybe studs just to the upper thigh, but it's going to be a free kick to West Brom anyway. Pereira was the man who was bundled over. Now, does Pereira kick out there? That is the question. It's arguably he possibly does, you know. And considering the game has stopped, it may be that VAR are just having a quick look to see if there's a possible red card. Either for, I'm assuming, for Pereira. He is checking violent conduct when he goes down. To me, it looks like there is a bit of a kick out by Mateus Pereira there with the angles. It's really hard to gauge. You can call it either way. Van Aanholt sort of shoves Pereira over. He falls down, and I think there is a bit of momentum with Pereira lashing out. VAR has got involved. Paul Tierney, I think, has been told to go and look at the screen, so we could have a sending off here. This could be a real game changer, and it couldn't really come at a worse time for West Brom, considering they are the side on top. He's still having a look at this, though, the referee. Just a reminder that it is Mateus Pereira's kick out that they're having a look at. He's finished looking at the screen. Makes his way over. He's reaching into his pocket. He's cut out the yellow card, and a red card has now been shown to Mateus Pereira, and suddenly this game has swung back in the favour of Crystal Palace. What was Pereira thinking there? He makes protestations with the referee. He looks baffled. I mean, I was leaning both ways. You could see arguments, but the more you look at the replay, the more you have to say it is the right decision. West Brom are down to 10 men. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1, but West Brom are now down to 10 men. Van Aanholt sort of came in hard on Mateus Pereira. He hit the floor, and it looked like Pereira lashed out with his legs, hitting the top of the thigh, close to the groin area of the Dutch fullback. Looking at the replays, VAR got involved, and there is clearly momentum and possible intent from Pereira to cause harm there. Paul Tierney looked at the screen and had no other option but to give the red card. So, although West Brom are on top and they have got back into this game, they are now down to 10 men and will have to play just under an hour with these lower people on the field. So it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1, West Brom down to 10 men. We still have a free kick to come as well for West Bromwich Albion. Conor Gallagher, the man standing over this. He whips it towards the back post. Bartley tries to rise highest. That's cleared away though by Gary Cahill. Now with Dean Garner, he was held up by Chiarte. Grant. Stuck in the left-hand side of the field. Goes out of play now for a throw-in for Crystal Palace. Here is Phillips. He tries to break away from Schlupp. Does really well to use his pace and strength. Phillips comes back towards Gallagher. Now with Dean Garner. Here's Sawyers. Is it left towards Phillips? Phillips tries to cushion the pass towards Gallagher. It's too far in front of him. Chiarte's the man that can come over and thump the ball away for Crystal Palace. And in fact, that has taken a deflection, I believe, off of Gallagher last. So out it goes for a throw-in for Palace. Here's MacArthur. Looks to find Eze. Eze now towards Zaha. Zaha will get away from Ivanovic. Is held up by the Serbian and then has been caught there by Ivanovic. So it will be a free kick to Crystal Palace just in front of the halfway line. So now Cahill will move this towards the left-hand side for Van Aanholt. Back towards Cahill again. MacArthur. All of the West Brom players are behind the ball. Good through ball towards Schlupp on the right hand side. Aiming towards Benteke, just above him. And Ajayi is forced to head the ball out of play for a corner kick. It was a good height for Benteke, just mistimed his jump. Couldn't quite get his head onto it. It's a lovely play by Schlupp to break away from the West Brom defence. Benteke does actually get a head onto it as well. But it's more of a glance, doesn't really go towards the goal at all. Corner whipped in towards Cahill, headed up rather than away by Bartley. Eze tries to get on the end of it, gets away from Dean Garner. Eze plays it through towards Zaha. This could be an opportunity. Zaha tries to whip the ball in. That's a really important block by Furlong. Got over quickly and did well to get his body in the way. If he wasn't there, then Zaha was a fizzing cross once again. Could easily have found a man in blue and red. So another corner kick for Crystal Palace. Eze is the man that comes over to take this. Was only their second of the game. Whipped in by Eze towards Benteke. Fell kindly towards Schlupp. He couldn't quite make the desired contact. The effort by Cahill is sliced. That goes back to Eze on the left hand side. Zaha back to Eze. Lovely play. Puts the ball in towards Gary Cahill on the edge of the area. Good shot. Blocked and then just about smothered away by West Brom. Bartley, the man that put his boot through it. Klein finds Milivojevic. He in turn is forced to volley the ball back to his goalkeeper. And the pressure has alleviated somewhat for West Brom. Pressure continues now though with Van Aanholt on the left hand side. Chiarte now with Milivojevic. Back towards Gary Cahill. Now MacArthur towards the left wing. Ceku Chiarte. Milivojevic. There's a good pass towards Zaha. Tries a cute back heel. Can't beat Ajayi, but then the pass by Ajayi doesn't find Grant. It's going to get brought back though for a foul by Wilfried Zaha on the Nigerian defender. So a free kick it will be now for the Baggies. Ivanovic goes towards Bartley, plays a 1-2 with Gallagher. Little over 5 minutes remain of the mandatory 45. We'll likely have a good amount of added time for the 2 goals and the VAR check which led to Mateus Pereira's red card. Here's Sawyers. He tries to find Dean Garner, can't quite get the desired pass, but he's been fouled once again by Wilfried Zaha, just a late boot. So it will be a free kick once again for West Brom. Zaha just having a few words now with Paul Tierney. He'd be told just to calm down a little bit. He seems to have taken that on board, Zaha. That's because he was initially caught by Furlong, then he just reacted quickly to try and get the ball back. It was a great tackle by Furlong initially. Though it must be said, there's no real contact from Zaha on Romain Sawyers, so maybe that was why that no yellow card was eventually given. Here is Sawyers. Bartley finds Ivanovic. Now with Ajayi. Ivanovic looks to spread it over towards the left wing, where Phillips is waiting, goes short and back towards Carl Bartley. Now with Gallagher. Held up by Benteke, moves it right towards Ajayi. Just on the halfway line now for West Brom. Grant. Left by Diangana, kept in play by Furlong. This could be an opportunity for West Brom. Furlong tries to whip the ball in. It's a sliding tackle by Van Arnholt, who diverts the ball out of play for a corner kick. Good defending there by the Dutchman. Him flying in. It's a very powerful tackle, but nothing that Furlong wanted to pursue. So corner kick for West Brom. Bartley is forward, as is Grant. Ivanovic, all in the area. Ajayi is there too. All the big boys forward, but they are outnumbered by the Crystal Palace players. Gallagher is the man who will take this out-swinging corner. It's a really poor delivery by Gallagher, easily cleared by Eze. Diangana will play it back towards the goal scorer. That's a better cross in by Gallagher. Ajayi gets his header onto it, headed away by Schlupp, falls to Grant and then takes a big deflection and goes over the crossbar. It was a bit of clumsy defending by Crystal Palace players, getting in each other's way. It's a lovely floated ball, the second time of asking by Gallagher. It was Schlupp that rose highest. That headed the ball away from Gaeta. And Grant's effort just came off the back of the shoulder of Benteke, who was the man who made the block. So corner kick for West Bromwich Albion. 43 minutes now played. Gallagher will take the in-swinger this time. His last one wasn't the best of deliveries. It's not exactly worse, but it is headed away anyway. This time by Schlupp, and now Zaha will find Eze. Eze can't get away from Diangana, but Schlupp will now pick things up for Crystal Palace again. Van Arnholt on the left wing. Only Benteke to aim for in the middle. Aims for the Belgian, but it's just too far in front of him. It will be kept in play though by Nathaniel Klein. Here's MacArthur. Didn't have much in the way of support. Tries to get the cross in. It's blocked. Diangana then gets the header away. Phillips will play it back towards Diangana. Not a great first touch, and then falls to Eze. Great effort, not too far away at all by Eberechi. Eze there. A lovely curling effort by the former QPR man. Unfortunately for him, it was always curling away from goal. Just going to see another replay of it here. When it fell kindly to him, just hit it first time. And in all fairness, looking at the second replay, it wasn't as close as it initially looked from our camera angles. So goal kick now for West Brom. About About 30 seconds of the first half remain before we find out how much added time will be shown. Here is Gaeta. Was it back towards Nathaniel Klein? Now with Benteke. Here's Cahill. Now finding Eze, who's held up well by Diangana. Now finding MacArthur. MacArthur looks to find Klein down the right wing. 2 minutes of added time shown at the end of this first half. Eze, back to Klein. Held up by Gallagher. Tries to twist and turn and eventually decides to go back towards MacArthur. MacArthur holds off Grant. Klein once again. Looks to float it over towards Benteke. Chests it down, holds off Ivanovic. Benteke forced wide but then can't keep it in play. And he will just dribble that out for a goal kick for West Brom. Caught in two minds of what he wanted to do there, Benteke. Wonder who'd be the happier manager of the two sides. Yes, Crystal Palace took the lead and they have the extra man, but haven't been very threatening going forward. West Brom definitely have had the better of the chances, arguably should be in the lead, but now that they are down to 10 men, it is going to make the game that much harder for them. Long ball by Johnson, aiming towards Phillips on the far side. Can't find him, but it has just glanced off Jeff Schlupp last. And it goes for a throw-in for West Brom. Midway inside the Crystal Palace half. I think it will be Bartley that'll come over and take this throw. Back it goes towards Ivanovic. And now Ajayi. Here's Furlong. Towards Grant, who tries to get away from Cahill. Does well to hold on to it, Colin Grant. Tries to go back towards Furlong, but it's a misplaced pass, which Eze will easily come and intercept. Now here's Milivojevic. Cross towards MacArthur, and that is going to be the half-time whistle blown by Paul Tierney. We're going into the break. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1, and we'll see you in the second half. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Aanholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Aanholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Aanholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slotted it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a dangerous cross and it was deflected into his own net by Darnell Furlong. West Brom were on top and eventually got their just rewards in their equaliser. Furlong playing a cross in, which was initially blocked by Cahill. The second cross found Gallagher, who slots it home into the bottom corner. They are now down to 10 men though, the home side. Pereira with a straight red card for a lash out on Van Arnholt. Half-time of the Hawthorns, it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 1. The away side took an early lead when a free kick by Milivojevic found Zaha, who turned away from Pereira. He put in a
Well, we'll leave that there because we are back underway for the second half between West Bromwich Albion and Crystal Palace. It was one apiece after the first period of 45 minutes, with West Brom also being down to 10 men through a straight red card for Mateus Pereira. It is myself, William Maxwell, to take you through this game. As Gary Cahill comes forward for the away side. Playing a 1-2 with Zaha. He'll spread that back towards Cheku Kiate. So I'll just run you through the lineups once again. There was a change at half-time for the home side. Grady Diangana has been brought off, with Filip Kravinovic, the man, coming on for the Baggies. So the lineup for West Brom is Johnson in goal, a back three of Bartley, Ivanovic and Ajayi. Phillips and Furlong are either side. Gallagher and Sawyers and Grant and Kravinovic will be the two more attacking players for West Brom. For Palace, it's unchanged. Gaeta in goal, Van Aanholt, Cahill, Kiate inclined in defence. Eze, MacArthur, Milivojevic and Schlupp in the midfield, with Zaha and Benteke up top. So Kiate finds Cahill now for Crystal Palace on the left-hand side. He was shaping up to try and find Van Aanholt, and in the end decided against it, and will go backwards now towards James MacArthur. And now here is Luka Milivojevic. Spinning it right towards Nathaniel Klein. He puts the cross in, not a great cross. Sawyers is there to intercept, and then Gallagher makes the clearance. Considering they are down to 10 men, you would imagine that maybe West Brom be slightly more defensive in this second half. Maybe try and focus on riding out this game to get a point. Klein finds Schlupp, who gets away from Bartley and then lays it off towards MacArthur. Here's Cahill now. Plays it down the line towards Benteke, who holds off Ajayi but then is unable to keep his footing. He was coming back from an offside position anyway, so the attack does break down. So free kick it will be now for West Bromwich Albion. It'll be the goalkeeper Sam Johnston to take. Goes across now towards Bartley. Now here's Matt Phillips, who will look to try and break down the left-hand side. Poor dribbling though by Phillips, has taken it out of play. And Schlupp can pick up from the throw. We'll go back now towards Cheku Kiate. 3 more games that you'll be able to listen to on our service in the Premier League today. After this one at 2:15, it's Sheffield United versus Leicester. At 4:30, it's the North London derby between Tottenham and Arsenal. Then at 7:15, Liverpool host Wolves. Klein play it towards the right-hand wing now for Zaha. He'll try and take on Bartley. He's been doubled up by Phillips as well. Klein finds Zaha, who tries to get away from Bartley. He's been caught there by the West Brom captain. Free kick is given by Paul Tierney. I think he's had a good game so far, the referees. Called it fairly. Don't think there was much else he could have done with the red card decision by Matheus Pereira. He was told by VAR to have a look at it on the screen. Milivojevic whips in the free kick towards Cahill, headed away by Bartley. Falls to Eze on the edge of the area. He'll go back towards Van Aanholt. Back now with Eze. Floats it towards Benteke. Headed away though by Ajayi. Gallagher did well to win the header. Kravinovic picks it up. Gallagher pokes it forward. And now Kravinovic will try and break forward, although Gallagher may have been caught there by James MacArthur, who is shown a yellow card by the referee as well. So 1 yellow card apiece now for the two sides. Roman Sawyers being the man booked for West Brom. Just came in very hard on Conor Gallagher. MacArthur was unhappy with the reaction by the midfielder. And he will now have to tread lightly over the course of this game. It's his 3rd yellow card now of the season for the Scot. Here is Ivanovic. He finds Sawyers, who gets away from MacArthur but not away from Milivojevic. Eze plays it through towards Benteke. Opportunity here possibly for Crystal Palace. Benteke, great cross, and he's inches away from finding a man in blue and red. It's a mixture of a shot and a cross towards the back post. And it's slightly too high, I think, for... I'm not sure if it's Zaha or Schlupp at the back post that is closest to it. I think it's Schlupp, actually, who's not far away. A right idea, though, by Christian Benteke. Just the execution letting him down at the last moment. Phillips will just let that go for Bartley to take the throw in. West Brom really haven't had a great deal of luck in this fixture. The last time they won was back in the 17-18 season. 3-2 victory that day. Goals from Craig Gardner, Craig Dawson and Saido Berahino gave the Baggies the win that day. Only one player from either side still remains in the starting lineup in Wilfried Zaha, although Joel Ward, who also played that game, is on the bench for Crystal Palace. The man who got both the goals for Palace that day, Connor Wickham, is still out injured for them. Schlupp finds Eze. Krovinovic comes back to make the defensive clearance. Sawyers is then barged off the ball by Jeff Schlupp, and Kiarte can now bring this forward for Palace. Eze goes down, then gets back up and finds Benteke. Advantage being played. Benteke finds Zaha on the edge of the area. Zaha gets away from Furlong, tries to put a dangerous ball in, takes a big deflection off of Sami Ajayi. Now turn that out of play for a corner kick once again for Crystal Palace. Zaha's just so dangerous when he gets the ball at his feet. He's such a good dribbler, so hard to dispossess. Got away from Furlong. His cross aiming towards Benteke. Was well blocked by Sami Ajayi. So Eze is the man who will take this in-swinging corner on the far side. Aiming towards Benteke, punched away by Johnston. And then Krovinovic does well to beat Milivojevic to it. He's held up well by Cheku Kiarte. Krovinovic, who then thumps the ball away, trying to set off Grant, but Cahill is the man that intercepts. Kiarte plays it down line, trying to find MacArthur. Bartley is there to toe poke the ball out of play. And the throw-in taken quickly by MacArthur to find Milivojevic. Kiarte, now with Cahill. Every player apart from Vicente Gaeta is in the West Brom half. Benteke lays it back towards Van Arnholt. Fantastic save by Sam Johnson. Came out of absolutely nothing there by Patrick Van Arnholt. Brilliant strike by the Dutchman from around 25 yards out. It's a great little 1-2 between him and Benteke. He was flying towards the top right-hand corner, forcing the goalkeeper to make a brilliant flying stop towards his right-hand side. Corner whipped in by Eze, headed up rather than away by Bartley. Krovinovic helps it on its way to try and set off Matt Phillips, who will utilise his pace to get away from Milivojevic. He's got Klein to deal with. Klein does well to stand up strong, and then Milivojevic slides in to make the clearance. A through ball though towards the right hand side now for Grant, who's watched by Van Arnholt. Support in Gallagher, used him as well. Gallagher tries to poke it over towards Sawyers, finds him as well. Support in Gallagher as well, goes down, and he was definitely looking for that, Conor Gallagher, and right decision by Paul Tierney to not give the penalty. And now here goes Eze, breaking forward, end-to-end stuff all of a sudden here. Palace coming forward, Eze finds Zaha, he will go for goal, blocked by Ajayi, back towards Zaha, he puts the ball in, and then Bartley's there to head the ball out for another corner kick. Really exciting stuff now in this game. And Paul Tierney's having a few words once again with Gallagher, who backs into MacArthur, looking and waiting for the contact. It's definitely the right decision for me from Paul Tierney. So corner kick now for Palace. Well, we're just having a quick break in play whilst Paul Tierney comes into penalty area. Just has a few words with, I believe, Jeff Schlupp and Darnell Furlong. A bit of pushing and shoving. Both players standing on the goalkeeper. Eze now puts the ball in towards MacArthur, who flicks on towards the back post. Cahill's there, and it falls back to Benteke, cleared off the line by Bartley. Really big opportunity there for Palace. They still have it going though with Milivojevic now. He's watched by Phillips. He chips it down the line towards Van Arnholt. Now with Zaha, he holds off Bartley. Schlupp gets away from Krinovic. He goes for goal, blocked by Ivanovic. Here's MacArthur. Zaha again will get away from Furlong. He'll go for goal. That's a brilliant finish by Wilfried Zaha. Palace have retaken the lead. It had been coming, and that is what Wilfried Zaha can do on his day. It's a brilliant finish by the Ivorian. Plenty of power and fizz on the strike, flying into the left-hand corner. Johnson was left standing, nothing he could do to react in time. West Brom just couldn't get out of their own half, let alone their penalty area. And Palace have retaken the lead. Where's West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 2. It had been coming. Pressure was coming from a corner kick. Van Arnold finds Schlupp. His shot was blocked by Ivanovic. It fell to MacArthur, who caressed a pass to Zaha, who from just inside the area smashed an effort into the left-hand corner. Johnson tried to make the save, but there was nothing he could do. Far too much pace and power on the shot. And the 10 men of West Brom, their resolve has now been broken. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 2. The Eagles are flying high. Yeah, really good finish there by Zaha. He's a 6th Premier League goal of the season. You just wonder how West Brom will react. Is there going to be enough resolve in them? Well, they're coming forward with Grant at the moment. Doesn't have a great deal of support. Krovinovic tries to give it back to Grant. His pass is blocked though by Sheku Kiarte. 76% possession in the second half for Crystal Palace already. Just highlighting their dominance. Is Gallagher twisting and turning, holds off Milivojevic. Back now with Bartley. His back heel comes off of Jeff Schlupp. Now Gallagher tries to break down the left hand side, tries to get a cross in. It's come off of, I believe, Nathaniel Klein last, so that will be a corner kick for West Brom. They'll need to make use of whatever opportunities they can carve out in this second half. So Gallagher is the man who's going to stand over this. Actually going to leave that for Phillips, who whips the ball in, headed away by Kiarte, and now Eze will try and come out there. Then he's being manhandled by Gallagher, and that's going to be a clear yellow card for the West Brom goal scorer. Cynical foul just to stop the counter-attack. Probably felt like he had to do it with the pace that Eze has. I think a lot of credit must go to Eberechi Eze as well there for not reacting to the cynicality of that foul. 3rd yellow card of the season now for Conor Gallagher. So here is Cahill now for Crystal Palace. James MacArthur just in front of the halfway line, going in towards the West Brom half. Zaha will go back towards Kiarte. And they'll likely just patiently pass around Crystal Palace, so obviously in no rush really to make their way forward. Eze breaks away from Krovinovic, finds Schlupp, supporting Van Arnold, utilises him as well. This is lovely football from Palace. Van Arnold puts the ball in. Benteke! It's 3-1 to Crystal Palace. It is absolutely brilliant football by the South London club. And it's Christian Benteke getting his tally off the mark for the season. Really, there was not much else he could have done but score there. Brilliant football down the left-hand side. Van Arnold did really well to keep the ball in play and put a delicate chip in. And the header from Benteke caressed really into the bottom left-hand corner, leaving Johnston flat-footed. Seeing a replay of Van Arnold does keep the ball in play. He definitely does. His header actually goes through the legs of Carl Bartley. Benteke, which may also one-sight the goalkeeper from just inside the 6-yard box. And it's as far in the corner as you can possibly hope for. And is that the goal that puts this game to bed? West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 3, and it might be the goal that kills this game of lovely football down the left-hand side. Schlupp playing through Patrick Van Arnold, who, with a first-time cross, keeping the ball in play, found Christian Benteke inside the 6-yard area, and his header went through the legs of Carl Bartley and into the left corner of the goal. West Brom will struggle to get back into this game. They seem to have lost a lot of confidence, and Palace, well, they just continue to come forward and pressure. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 3. As Van Arnold has an effort that takes a big deflection. Johnson does well to react in time and make the save. Here's Bartley. He's pressurised by the goal scorer, Christian Benteke. Goes back towards Johnson, who thumps the ball clear. Now here's Krovinovic. Now with Sawyers. Spreading it back in towards Krovinovic, who holds off Schlupp. Goes back again towards Sawyers. Now Bartley. Down the line for Phillips, who holds off Zaha and gets away from MacArthur. Tries to caress the pass in towards Grant. Good tackle though by Klein in the end. And I think it's a foul given away there by Grant on Nathaniel Klein. And that'll actually be the last bit of action we see from Karlan Grant. Looks like he's being replaced by Slaven Bilic. It really hasn't been his day today, hasn't really been involved a great deal. As the number 7, Callum Robinson, who is coming on for him for the second substitution for West Brom. Still all 3 can be made for Crystal Palace, but considering how well the 11 are playing on the field, you wouldn't be surprised if no chances no substitutions are made in this second half. It's not uncommon for Roy Hodgson to go a full game without making a change or making very minimal. As ball's played down the line, trying to find Benteke. Johnson, the man that reacts quicker, he thumps the ball away. There's the ball aiming towards Benteke on the left-hand side. Can't quite keep it in play, so it'll be a throw-in now for West Brom. Seeing another replay of Benteke's goal. It was a lovely play between Eze initially, finding Schlupp. And it's just a brilliant team goal all around. Best bit of football that we've seen in the entirety of the game. And it deserved to finish at the end, and Benteke was happy to oblige as Krovinovic's pass is cut out by Nathaniel Klein. Here is Bartley now for West Brom, trying to pass it out towards Krovinovic, cut out by Schlupp, who gets away from Gallagher and away from Ajayi. Will lay that off towards Eze on the edge of the area. Now making his way inside the penalty box, keeps on his feet. Eze does really well to hold on to the ball. Lays it off towards Klein. Klein now towards Zaha. Held up by Sawyers and then twists and turns and holds off Bartley as well. Will do well to keep the ball in play. Eventually just run out of space, and it will be a goal kick for West Brom. Zaha just doing too much there for his side. Should have laid it off earlier, had supporting Klein. Chances have just begun to dry up in this second half. Ajayi now, spreading it towards the right-hand side where Furlong was waiting. And now here is Sawyers. Finds Bartley on the left wing. Drifts in from Milivojevic. Robinson holds off Chiarte and spreads a lovely pass over to the far side for Furlong. Now with Gallagher to Sawyers. Sawyers finds Bartley. Robinson back in towards Bartley. Now Phillips. Palace and no real rush to pressurise the West Brom players at the moment. They're happy just to have them contained as Sawyers is clipped by Christian Benteke. And that will be a free kick for West Brom just in front of the centre circle inside the Palace half. Opportunity to float this ball into the area. It's a really unnecessary foul by Benteke, as Sawyers was surrounded by Palace players anyway. Does escape without a yellow card though, the Belgian striker. So Gallagher is the man who is standing over this. 4 players forward for West Brom. Gallagher may try and float this in. Cahill tries to organise his defence. Gallagher in the end just rolls it short to Bartley, who then floats it towards the back post. Cahill is there to get his head onto it. Phillips will also try and head it in. The air. MacArthur supporting Van Aanholt on the far side, uses him as well. Will try and take on Furlong in towards Benteke. Benteke to Eze, who tries to flick it cutely towards Schlupp. Cut out by Gallagher. The clearance only goes as far as MacArthur. Now here's Milivojevic. Milivojevic spreads it towards the right now for Zaha. Lovely ball by him to find Milivojevic as well, who tries to keep back heel towards Schlupp. Cut out there by Bartley, and he can't take any chances, and he just passes the ball out of play for a corner kick for Crystal Palace. Once again, really good football by the Eagles there. Good, cute through ball by Zaha to find Milivojevic, who just couldn't quite get the power generated on the back heel to find Jeffrey Schlupp, who was coming in at the back post. So Milivojevic will stand over this for Palace. He puts the corner in towards Benteke, headed away by Bartley. Will go back out towards the Serbian. Milivojevic passes through towards Zaha. He puts the ball in, again headed away by Bartley. Milivojevic will keep that in play once again. He, in turn, his forces go all the way back towards Nathaniel Klein. He's pressurised by Robinson. And now here's Chiarte. I think Eze. MacArthur will find Milivojevic. MacArthur once again. Eze to Benteke. Eze breaks forward and gets in away from player Zaha outside the boot. 4-1 Crystal Palace, and that is surely now a game set and match for the Eagles. Eze doing really well to dribble inside the area, got away from Carl Bartley. It came off of his shin, which fell kindly to Zaha, and with the outside of his right boot, he thumped it past Sam Johnston in the West Brom goal from around 8 yards out. And you would imagine now there is no way back for West Brom here. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 4, and it's surely game set and match now. Great dribbling by Eberechi Eze, playing 1-2 with Christian Benteke. Broke into the area, got away from the West Brom defence, rode the tackle of Bartley. It came off his knee and fell kindly to Wilfried Zaha, who with the outside of his boot smashed it past the West Brom goalkeeper and into the back of the net. It's another really good team move by Crystal Palace, who are playing football for fun at the moment, and West Brom look bereft of ideas and confidence. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 4. There's Zaha's second of the game, on a hat-trick now. Been a great performance by Crystal Palace today. And there's no doubting that the sending off of Mateus Pereira really has cost West Brom today, considering they were arguably on top whilst Pereira was on the field at 1-1. That extra man has proved costly. So here is Sawyers now for West Bromwich Albion. Almost 70 minutes gone in this game. Is there going to be a consolation goal for Palace? It's hard to see where their opportunity is going to come from. All the games seemingly played in the defensive third of the home side. Eze will find Klein. Tries to play it in towards Benteke. Cut out well there by Phillips, and now Gallagher will try and come forward. He plays it down the line towards Robinson. And what can Robinson do here for West Brom? He's doubled up by a mixture of Zaha and Chiarte. Chiarte manages to tackle and keep the ball in play, and he finds Jeffrey Schlupp as well. Van Aanholt down the line towards Schlupp. He will try and take on Ivanovic. and plays it off of the Serbian. No, he's actually come off the Ghanaian last. That will be a goal kick for West Brom. Ivanovic, obviously plenty of experience in the Premier League after his time with Chelsea. He has lost a shred of pace in his older years. He's struggled to contend with the youthful exuberance and pace of Zaha and Eze today. Here's Ajayi playing it in towards Robinson. Now Furlong. Long ball aiming towards Gallagher. It's actually going to get brought back. I think it just drifted out of play before the pass could be played there by Furlong. So throw in for Crystal Palace just by the halfway line, and Palace look like they're going to make their first substitution of the game. It's going to be Jairo Rudewald who is going to come on for Crystal Palace, and it's James MacArthur who is going to come off. Had a decent performance today, MacArthur. Not a great deal to do. Had a few coming together with a couple of West Brom players, notably Conor Gallagher. A bit more creativity with Jairo Rudewald now in the centre of the midfield. Just make things that much harder for West Brom. Milivojevic towards Cahill, who in turn is forced to go back towards his goalkeeper by Callum Robinson. Now Kiarte will find Rudewald for his first few touches of the ball. And Rudewald goes back towards Cahill. Now with Eze, who tries to take on Krovinovic. Eze will find Klein on this right hand side. Now with Schlupp. Klein again. Zaha trying to find Schlupp. It's a good interception though by Gallagher. Krovinovic goes back towards Ivanovic, and then Johnson just thumps the ball long. Rudewald will head it towards Zaha. Klein does well to get away from Krovinovic. Now Rudewald again. Eze looks for support, eventually gets it in Van Aanholt. Now Gallagher will come forward, and Milivojevic came flying in with a tackle. So it will be a free kick now for West Brom. Gallagher being in the wars a little bit today. Palace players not happy with some of his antics. As we see the second substitution for Crystal Palace, and it's Jordan Ayew that is stripped and ready to come on. And it's Jeff Schlupp who's going to make way. So you'd imagine Wilfried Zaha would move on to one of the wings to make way for Jordan Ayew. Very attacking changes being made by Roy Hodgson. Gallagher back towards Ivanovic, to his goalkeeper who looks to float it long towards the left wing for Phillips. Krovinovic gets away from Kiarte. This could be an opportunity here for the Baggies. He puts the ball in, aiming towards Robinson. Was a good interception by Van Aanholt. He then dribbles out with it, almost dribbled it out of play. Ayew does well to hold off Phillips. And now Rudewald will come forward down the left-hand side, finds Eze. 1-2. And Eze just slows up the tempo, and then it's an awkward pass that almost gives Robinson an opportunity. Eze twists and turns and sends Gallagher to the shops and back. And now Eze will make his way forward. Holds off Sawyers and finds Klein. Back now with Milivojevic. Here's Rudewald. Van Aanholt to Milivojevic. No real tempo to the passing of Palace at the moment. Klein back towards Eze. Benteke holds off Ivanovic. Milivojevic finding Klein, and now Zaha holds off Bartley. Eze. Tries to chip it over, headed away by Ivanovic, and then Milivojevic slides in front of Robinson to poke the ball back towards Gaeta. Riedewald now will try and bring this forward for Palace. Now Ayew, who's been clipped there by Sawyers. It's going to be a free kick. Is it for Crystal Palace? I think advantage is actually going to be played here by Paul Tierney. And eventually the ball goes back towards Gaeta by Cheku Kouyaté, who, like Eric Dyer at Tottenham, has been converted from a holding midfielder into a centre-back this season, and is really making the position his own, keeping out the likes of Scott Dan and Mamadou Sakho the majority of the time. Ayew finds Benteke. Here's Van Aanholt, chips it over towards Ayew, who can't turn away from Semi Ajayi, and out it goes for a goal kick for West Bromwich Albion. Johnson chips it over towards Phillips on the left hand side. Is Sawyers. Holds off Riedewald, and Ivanovic finds Semi Ajayi. Turn, plays a 1-2 with Furlong, and then comes back towards Branislav Ivanovic. Holds off Benteke, but there's no spring in West Brom's step at the moment. You can tell there are sides that have just lost all belief in this game. They just want the final whistle to be blown. As Johnston chips it over towards Bartley. Holds off Zaha. Bartley now will lay it off towards Sawyers, who is just caught there by Benteke. No advantage being played though by Paul Tierney, nor a foul was given. So Johnston will now pick things up midway inside his own half at the moment, the West Brom goalkeeper. Plays it along the deck towards Furlong. Robinson back towards Sawyers. Probably been the longest spell of possession West Brom have had in the entire half, as Paul finds Bartley on the left wing. Bartley then tries to float the ball over towards Robinson, but it's gifted possession straight back to Crystal Palace. It was a needless long ball. The ball was put down the line aiming towards a Palace player. There's been a collision between, I think, Ayew and Bartley. No foul, says the referee. So play continues with Gallagher on the left wing. Gallagher holds off Ayew and then finds Sawyers. Krovinovic. Back to Sawyers. Tries to turn away from Riedewald. Gets his body in front of the Palace midfielder. Goes back towards Ivanovic. And now Gallagher. Finding Ajayi on the right side. Good pass by Ajayi towards Robinson. Here's Gallagher. Finding Sawyers. Who's held up well by Riedewald. Gallagher now towards Furlong on the right hand side, getting in line with the Crystal Palace penalty area. Puts the ball in. It's just above Krovinovic. The clearance by Klein is poor, but he does well to ride the challenge of Matt Phillips. And Zaha puts it through the legs of Bartley, but then can't get away from Phillips, who then holds off Zaha and gets himself into the penalty area. Finds Krovinovic, who aims to put it in towards the back post, but it's an overhit cross by Filip Krovinovic, and out it goes for a goal kick once again for Crystal Palace, and it will be the final change as well being made by West Bromwich Albion. Romain Sawyers is the man who's coming off for the number 27 Irish centre-back Dara O'Shea. I think I saw Crystal Palace getting their final change ready as well. Not sure if they're going to make that yet, or if they'll just wait until the next stoppage in play. So they are making it now, and it is Wilfried Zaha, who's been far away my man of the match today. His race is now run, and coming on to replace him is Michy Batshuayi, man on loan from Chelsea, of course. So all substitutions have now been made. Whether or not they have any impact on this game, of course, only time will tell? Well, it remains West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 4, and ever since that fourth goal for Palace, there's been very little chances of note to tell you about. Both sides have now made all their substitutions. For West Brom, they've brought on Dara O'Shea, Filip Kravinovic and Callum Robinson in place of Dean Garner, Grant and Sawyers. For Crystal Palace, Ayew, Riedewald and Michy Batshuayi have all come on. MacArthur, Schlupp and my man of the match, Wilfried Zaha, have all come off. Palace look very comfortable at the moment. West Brom, they have very little ideas going forward. They look completely lacking in confidence, and you just really doubt they're going to get a consolation or find any way back into this game. A little under 10 minutes remain of this match, and it remains West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 4. Here is Kiarte. Down the line towards Jordan Ayew. Now Klein puts it in towards Batshuayi, left by him. Benteke will pick it up, he'll go for goal. Benteke, oh, it's a brilliant finish by Christian Benteke. He's got 2 in a game for the first time in about 4 years, possibly even 5 years now, the Belgian. It's a brilliant finish by the number 20. Did really well to turn his man, got it onto his left boot and thumped it with plenty of power into the back of the net. Johnson beaten low at his left-hand side. Arguably possibly should have done a bit better there, but take nothing away from the individual brilliance of Christian Benteke, using his strength, what he's renowned for, to hold off the West Brom defence, and it's a thumping effort past the West Bromwich Albion goalkeeper. West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 5. Christian Benteke gets his second of the game. He's found by Nathaniel Klein in the area, does really well to utilise his strength to turn away from Filip Kravinovic, and then with his left boot thumps an effort low past Sam Johnson to his left-hand side. It's the first time Benteke's got 2 goals in the game in about 4 seasons for Crystal Palace, so it's a big moment for him when he's really struggled for form in recent seasons. Palace running away with this. They've been absolutely fantastic in this second half. It's West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 5. It's a really, really good goal there by Benteke, making a late claim, possibly for man of the match as well. You just wonder if the tide may be changing for his form. As the ball goes towards Gallagher for West Brom, now with Kravinovic. He'll go for goal from about 30 yards out, and the less said about that shot, the better. Realistically, it's not the greatest of efforts there by the Croat. Sign of real frustration. They have been poor, West Brom, and the goal difference after this game is going to take a real hit. Here is Klein for Crystal Palace. Here is Ayew dropping very, very deep inside his own half to get himself involved. Goes back towards Cahill, and now Eze brings us forward into the West Brom half. Eze goes back towards Riedewald, and now with Milivojevic. Spinning it right now for Klein. Supporting Ayew down the right hand side, holds off Phillips, goes back towards Nathaniel Klein. Milivojevic finding Batshuayi, good tackle there by Bartley, and now Gallagher will try and come forward. Looks for support and eventually releases it to Robinson. Bartley back in towards Gallagher, and that's a fantastic sliding tackle from Jordan Ayew from absolutely nothing there to stop Gallagher going forward. And there could be an attacking opportunity here for Crystal Palace. Milivojevic going short towards Ayew, who chips it over for Eze. Has been fouled by Phillips there, no, says the referee. Ayew then plays it back towards Eze. Benteke using his strength to hold off Ivanovic. Eze again, holds off one, tries to dribble in through the gap, but then can't break past Carl Bartley. Riedewald aiming towards Eze, has been fouled by Ajayi there, no, says the referee. And now Ivanovic will bring it forward away from Batshuayi. Kravinovic towards Robinson. Kravinovic again, and Robinson may have it all to do here. He's done well to Release the pass over towards Dara O'Shea. And now Krovinovic again. O'Shea. Back towards Filip Krovinovic. O'Shea once more, finding Bartley. And now Ajayi goes in for Phillips towards the right wing. Has Furlong in support. Barely mentioned Furlong in this second half. The game has been, although mostly in the West Brom half, it's been on the right hand side of the Palace attack rather than his. Here is Bartley finding O'Shea. Gallagher has been fouled there by Reid Awaldi. That'll be a free kick for West Brom, which they take quickly. O'Shea to Gallagher. Back towards Bartley. West Brom may even try and wind down the clock here. Try and limit themselves of conceding any further goals. Ajayi. Back towards Ivanovic now. He'll find Carl Bartley. Slaven Bilic on our studio pictures, painting a rather exasperated figure at the moment. What sort of hairdryer treatment he'll give his players, and in particular Matheus Pereira, for the way this game is gone. It's hard to say anything else, that the game really has just pivoted on that red card to Matheus Pereira. 18 attempts for Palace in this game to West Brom's 8. 4 on target for West Brom, 6 for Crystal Palace, which means 5 of the 6 shots on target have gone in. Granted, the first goal was an own goal. Klein finding Ayew on the right hand side. And Klein tries to find Milivojevic, who comes flying in with a tackle on Matt Phillips there. It's a really poor tackle by Luka Milivojevic, and he's very, very fortunate to only get away with a yellow card there. Phillips went flying over that tackle. It was a completely unnecessary tackle as well by the Crystal Palace captain. Catches him very, very high, but because it's not really studs that connect, it's more the shins that collide. It's probably why he's escaped with only a yellow card there. The ball's played through, aiming towards Furlong on the right hand side, easily cut out though by Patrick Van Aanholt. Here's Milivojevic once again, finding Batshuayi. Benteke tries to cushion the ball back towards his fellow Belgian, but he can't keep a hold of it, and then Bartley goes down under a tackle by Christian Benteke. Free kick it will be for West Brom, just inside the Crystal Palace half. Around a minute remain of the mandatory 90 minutes. You'd imagine there's going to be probably 2 or 3 minutes of added time at the end of this, but maybe Paul Tierney might not feel the need to give any added time, considering the foregone conclusion of this game. Krovinovic finds Ivanovic. Now with Bartley, held up by Batshuayi, at walking pace at the moment at this game. Ivanovic back again towards Bartley, who in turn goes back towards his goalkeeper Johnston, who puts the ball long, trying to find Furlong, headed away though by Van Aanholt. Eze tries to use quick feet to beat Semi Ajayi, but was unable to keep the ball in play. So out it goes for a throw-in. 10 seconds remain of the mandatory 90. Ajayi trying to find Gallagher. It's cut out by Ayew, but then Gallagher's there to hold on to it and play it towards O'Shea. He brings the ball forward now for West Brom. O'Shea finding Krovinovic. And 2 with Gallagher. 3 minutes shown as added time at the end of this game. Gallagher finds Bartley. Gallagher again. Out with Krovinovic. Bartley once more. He looks to find Krovinovic again. In towards Robinson. Krovinovic plays the ball through towards Robinson again, has support in Phillips, tries to put the ball across towards the back post, and Van Arnold almost put the ball into the back of his own net. Guys had to react quickly there to clear the ball away, and now Eze will break forward, and there could be a counter-attack opportunity here for Crystal Palace. Eze utilising his pace and agility. Good sliding tackle though by Krovinovic in the end to stop the run of Eze, and Gallagher can bring the ball forward with Phillips. Phillips gets away from Benteke, or was it short towards Furlong, and now Ajayi for West Brom. Wonder where these points are going to come from for West Brom if they're going to get out of the relegation zone. In a four-way battle for those, for that one spot above the relegation zone, alongside Sheffield United, Fulham. The ball's whipped in dangerously. It was a really good clearance to the end by Chiarte. It was an unorthodox clearance, I can get my words out, by the Crystal Palace defender, sort of bundling his knees into the clearance. Manages to divert the ball out of play for a corner kick. As I was adhering to before, Burnley are the other side that they're in contention with at the bottom. In fact, because of goal difference, this loss will actually take West Brom below Burnley into 19th. Crystal Palace comfortably in 11th. Floated in from the corner kick towards Bartley, who rose highest, but he couldn't direct his header anywhere near on target, and that flies out of play for a goal kick with around 45 seconds remaining of this game. Sure, Bilic is just waiting for this final whistle to come. He's not going to look forward to the press conference afterwards, I'm sure. Well, it's very limited that Roy Hodgson can be unhappy with from his side today. Maybe the fact he didn't keep a clean sheet. Van just caught there by Furlong, and then those two players have a few words with each other. But nothing's going to come from it, as the throw-in will now be taken by Ajayi to find Krovinovic. Good touch by him to get away from Batshuayi. Spreads the ball over towards the left-hand side with Daro Sher. We have now played the full 3 minutes of this game. This is likely to be the final attack. Krovinovic towards Phillips, who turns away from Van Aanholt. Phillips puts the ball in, aiming towards Furlong, headed away though by Gary Cahill, and that is going to be the full-time whistle. It's been a brilliant performance by Crystal Palace. The final score is West Bromwich Albion 1, Crystal Palace 5, and we'll see you in the next one.